everybody. Welcome to Unscripted Access, episode number 106. You're here with your host, Nick McCandless. On this week's show, we also have Bronson Fiore.
What is up?
And later in the show, we will be having Anthony Todd joining in on us. He's just busy doing something right now. But we will continue, and he will come back in whenever he's ready. So before we go ahead and head into the news, let's talk a little bit. So Destiny's now been out for, 3.5, 4 weeks. It's almost been out for a full month. October 1st, I can't believe it. The day that we're recording, I just can't believe it's October. Can you believe it? Like, there's 3 months left in this year. Like, it's unbelievable. Like, what the hell happened to this year?
I know, dude. This year's been a fucking blur. Like I started the year being jobless, and then working at a doctor's office, and then fucking now I work for Satan, and
I gotta say, out of everyone I know, Bronson has the most diverse lineup of job experience out of anyone.
Dude,
like, name it, and Bronson has done it.
Dude, if I were to give you a resume, you'd be like, this guy is qualified to do fucking anything. Oh, man. Yeah, this has been a quick year, and it's very proven by the fact that, games are finally coming out. That's a surprise. And just in this past month, we've had Hyrule Warriors, we have Danganronpa 2, we've had Destiny, we've had Persona Ultimax and Forza, and we're a week out from Drive Club, we're 2 weeks out from Sleeping Dogs. You know, Japanese reviews of Bayonetta 2 are coming out, and if those are any indication, holy shit, that game's amazing, and it's coming out in 20 days. You know, and I mean, can you believe it's already time for Extra Life? Like, we are 23 days away from doing our Extra Life charity.
That's crazy.
Which, promoting that right now. If you go to Extra Life, search the Gamer Access, or search my name, our page is up, we're ready for donations. Give what you can, we're going to be promoting it all month, and we are going to be on Twitch streaming for 24 hours. Not the entire staff, not the 6 of us, individually or in pairs. We still need to set up the schedule. Certain games are, we're going to have a list of specific games we're doing, unless the chat is like, we want you to play this if you have it. Then we'll obviously switch. But, I know Destiny's probably going to be on there, right, Nick? I imagine.
Yes.
I know Drive Club will probably be on there, because everyone will have the Plus Edition. Anthony and I are going to try and squeeze in a little Bayonetta 2 for everyone. Wii U streaming's kind of a pain in the ass, but we'll do it if we see it fit. Sleeping Dogs HD will be out. We're gonna try and get a really diverse lineup, so you don't see just 25 hours of Destiny and Dota. So, as is tradition, though, we will be getting our asses spanked in Dota 2 for an hour at the end. So, yeah, please donate. It's for sick kids. I know everyone on the team is doing a different children's hospital. I'm doing the Reno, Nevada Renown Children's Hospital. Nick, are you doing North Carolina again, I'm guessing?
Probably.
Yeah, I know that depending on if anyone else on the team picks Renown, I might pick Seattle. I know Kyrie will probably do New Jersey, because, that's where she's from. This is a good cause. Normally we don't give a shit about you giving us money. We self-fund everything. But this is a case where this is for sick kids, for a good cause. Please go out and donate. I know, I know this is crazy to sound, but I'm already planning next year, because the Master Chief Collection will be out then, and Anthony and I will for Extra Life 2015. You know what? Incentive. If we hit our goals, which the team goal for this year is $1,000. If we hit the team goal of $1,000 this year, then in 2015, Anthony and I will play through all of the Master Chief Collection for Extra Life. All 4 Halo games, one sitting. So.
All right. Well, before we head into the news, let's go ahead and talk about Destiny. So Destiny's been out for, like I said, almost a month now. And the reason why I bring that up is, let's talk about the longevity here. So how is it holding up for you, Bronson? Are you still playing it? Is it a game that you just got bored of? Do you find anything to still do? What's your current situation with Destiny?
So I spent a week grinding out PvP reputation, and I have 3 epics or 3 legendaries in out of the 4 armor slots, plus one of my weapons is a legendary, and I'm level 25, halfway to 26, and I ran out of stuff to do, not because the game lacks content, but because my friends are not far enough to play with me. I'm waiting for Nick and John and Brevin and Kyrie all to hit level 25 so we can all do the Vault of Glass.
I'm almost there. Almost.
That said, it's very much going to be that busy season soon. And Destiny has not been good enough to where I want to go back to it, as mean as that is to say. Like, we played Hyrule Warriors on 60-minute access this past week, and I was like, wow, I see why this game and Destiny are getting similar scores. They're both really polished, but repetitive as hell and get boring after a while. You know, Hyrule Warriors just came out. We got Persona coming out, Forza coming out, Drive Club, the remake of Sleeping Dogs. There's so much good shit coming out, and Destiny isn't like a Halo 3 or a Gears of War 3 or an Uncharted 2 or Grand Theft Auto 5, where it's going to pull my attention away from these other games. It just wasn't that good. Like, Destiny's a great game. Like, I still stand by my score that I gave it on the podcast. I'd give it an 8, and you should play it if you're into that kind of game. But it's not like a 9.5, this game that's going to pull me away from these other big releases coming out.
Yeah, it's not quite what I expected it to be. I mean, Destiny, it's great. Like, I'm halfway to level 25. I'm level 24 right now. So I'm going to fit in some grinding here and there, but when I first picked up the game, this is usually the case with most games, is you pick up a game, you play the mess out of it for a week, and then after that, you kind of start playing less and less of it, and you start playing other games. Well, with Destiny, I was playing it hardcore for about 2 weeks. Like, that was really the only game I was playing.
I hit rank 2 in PvP to be able to buy the armor, and then I got to the point where I was able to buy 2 pieces of armor when I got there, and I was like, do I really want to grind out 120 more emblems for a goddamn helmet? And the answer is no. I'm just going to wait for people to get in the Vault of Glass.
Right. And here's the thing. So I was grinding for about 2 weeks, and we've discussed this a million times, and we still haven't done our... Just reminds me, we still haven't done our spoiler cast for Destiny. We need to kind of get that scheduled.
We do need to get on that. We also need to do one for The Walking Dead Season 2, but Anthony won't finish the fucking game. So...
Yeah, we need to get Destiny all figured out. We'll get that figured out for you guys. But,
Sunday night I'm probably free, but good.
Destiny, I'm definitely getting, it's so repetitive. Like, it's so repetitive. It's unbelievable. It's like every time I go in the game, I'm like, okay, I want to level up. Guess what? Looks like I'm doing these strikes that I've done 20 million times. Looks like I'm doing it all over again.
I'm telling you, man, if you want the fastest way to get good ass gear, PvP. Fucking you get the dailies done quicker, or not. What are they called in that game? Fuck, they're those mini quests.
The bounties.
Yes, you get the bounties done quicker. Yeah, sorry, I'm thinking of standard MMO language. You get the bounties done quicker. You get reputation faster, and you get random drops. Which, I mean, my first epic was off of a random PvP game. Granted, the Cryptarch hates you. You know.
Well, yeah, let's talk about that. So, Destiny, they just released patch, was it 1.0 or 1.2? It's one of the two.
It's 1.02, I believe, yes.
Yeah, 1.02. Yes, it's 1.02. And essentially what it does is, and this is what confused me, is as anyone who plays Destiny knows, you'll get so excited because you'll get this legendary engram, and you'll be like, yes, you'll get so excited. Especially the first one. I remember the first one I got. I was so excited. And I went to the Cryptarch to redeem it, and it was a rare. It wasn't even it was uncommon. It wasn't rare. It was uncommon. I was like, okay, that's a glitch, and that's fucked up. I was so pissed. And then I went and looked on the internet, and everyone was talking about it. So it was intentional by Bungie. And I just think that's stupid. It's like, if you're gonna do that, don't have a different class of engrams. Just have one engram and have it randomly generate
it's for me that was so annoying because like I've been playing World of Warcraft for it'll be 10 years this November. I've been playing MMOs as a whole for 13, 14 years. And this is the first fucking game I've ever played that does this, and it's the dumbest shit ever. Like in WoW, WoW has something similar to engrams. That each tier is a different one, but they're like mark of whatever. Like back in the day, and Lich King was frost badges. I think the current one is like mark of conquest, and it would drop and say, okay, you can turn this in for this specific legendary of conquest, and it's a legendary. Okay, the fact that like you go to the Cryptarch and you say, I have this legendary thing, he's like, ah, shit, dude, that's a blue. Fuck! Like, it just ruins the joy.
Yeah, it ruined the whole entire experience. And to find out, I thought it was a glitch that everyone was having, but it turns out Bungie did that intentionally. And like I said, that's stupid. If you're gonna do that, don't push it out. Don't even classify the engrams. What does the classification do? It doesn't do anything. So, patch 1.02, they're fixing that. Or not necessarily fixing because it wasn't an issue. They're changing that to where now when you get an engram, you will get an item that is at least that rarity, for lack of a better word. It's that classification or better. So, for example, if you get let's say a rare engram, you at least get a rare item. You might get a legendary, you might get exotic. If you get a legendary engram, you'll get at least legendary or exotic. So that's definitely very good news. Also, they said that anyone that's been following on the internet, there's been all these loot caves. I know one of them was on planet Earth, where there was this part in Earth where you could just sit there and shoot in this cave of enemies as they keep coming out, and just go in there and collect tons and tons of loot. So Bungie's been removing those, but they've also acted upon it by making it so that the game will drop more engrams, because a lot of people were complaining that they didn't feel enough items were being dropped, and that's what caused people to find these loot caves.
One of the things about this goddamn game is it's the way that it's built is like, oh, this is going to be like Diablo, or this is going to be like, or this is going to be like Borderlands, and like not nearly enough loot drops to be that kind of game. Not nearly. Like in 3 hours of Diablo, like I'll play 3 hours of Diablo with my friend Thomas, and I'm like, I got new pants, new chest piece, new helmet, and like 1 million gold. In 3 hours of Destiny, I got a bunch of fucking gray items, and I might be able to buy pants soon. Like, fuck.
Yeah, it's very frustrating. So, I haven't had a chance to play since this patch came out. The patch just came out today, October 1st. So I'm excited going in there and seeing the difference. And one thing is, if you were holding your legendary engrams, unfortunately, those do not reflect this patch. Only the engrams you earn from this point on will have that point where when you redeem them, you actually get what it's supposed to be. So the one thing I will give Bungie props on is, yes, Destiny's very disappointing in a lot of ways. It's extremely repetitive, but at least they are being active with the community and making changes happen really quick. Something's found, they fix it very quickly. It definitely shows that they're very engaged in the community.
I mean, that's the kind of support you would kind of expect out of this kind of game, though. Like World of Warcraft.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, with a budget of $500 million.
Like when I play WoW, if there's a glitch in a raid, like that shit gets patched that week. Like that. There's none of this. Like, oh man, you should wait a while. Like I remember back in the day in World of Warcraft, Wrath of the Lich King, there's this bug that was a glitch to where if you were an engineer and you used Serenite bombs on the Lich King fight, the platform wouldn't fall during the fight, and it'd make the fight easier. And like that shit was patched within a week. So I mean, there's that kind of stuff. I have no idea how to feel about Destiny. I think that it's a wonderful game. It looks great. The music is just beautiful. Like that's one of my favorite things about that game. I could sit and listen to that game's soundtrack and enjoy every minute of it. Um, and the core shooting is really good, but it has all these other issues that are just like, ugh, Destiny, why? Why are you doing this to me, Destiny? Why? So I don't know, man. It's a hard call. It's definitely a hard call. I hope that it. I hope that they eventually patch it or make add-ons for it that make it more varied. Like I still wonder why the hell there is not a vehicle level. Like I sit down and I play Halo. Like even the older Halos, like 2 and 3, or even the first one. And I'm like, this still kind of has better pacing than Destiny does, because like you'll play a level and there'll be these vehicle missions, and those will transfer into big open battlefields, which will lead you indoors, which will take you to another big open battlefield, and you're fighting all these different enemy types. Versus like the best level of Destiny is multiple enemy types and a boss who is just a bullet sponge.
Yeah, it's like here's the thing. With Destiny, I'll admit, I think well then again I don't know. I feel like some part of me feels like I had too high of expectations for the game, but at the same time, I can't necessarily say that when Activision and under like $500 million, this game's gonna last 10 years and this and that. It kind of set those expectations, and and plenty of people agree that they did not meet those expectations, unfortunately.
I think
I still
that
have hope in the game. I mean, I'm still playing it on a rather consistent basis. I've been playing a lot of Forza Horizon 2, which is amazing, by the way. But I've still been playing Destiny for maybe a couple hours a week.
I think this kind of says everything for a game that was hyped as a possible game of the year. Like that. That's what when we were talking about Destiny early in the year, we were talking about like, okay, the contenders are going to be Destiny, Infamous, Transistor, da 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 da, and it's not, quite frankly. Like when we go to make that top 10 list, I think Destiny could be in the bottom half or not on it. Like realistically, like I sit there and I look at some of the games that have come out this year, and I'm like, and I sit there and I think, okay, well, Transistor is definitely a better game than Destiny. Infamous is definitely a better game than Destiny. You could argue Titanfall is a better game than Destiny. Like there's a lot of really great games coming out, and like it was supposed to be this game that it just isn't. And is it bad? No, but is it going to be like what we said, where it's going to be like, oh yeah, Destiny is going to be one of the hits of the year? Like, no, it's going to be, man, remember Destiny? That was pretty fun. That was a good game, but it wasn't, like, I guess I'd put it in the same category as, uh, you know, it's really hard to categorize, but I would say, I guess Sleeping Dogs, where like that game was a really great game and it was in the bottom. It almost made our top 10 in 2012, but didn't. And I can see that happening to Destiny.
Yeah, I mean, Destiny's definitely my top 10, but I mean, I thought, I mean, if you would have told me, I mean, if this game came out, I thought for sure this would be top three without a question. And I don't know, probably not for me. There's a lot more games I still need to play this year, but I mean, there's pretty good games that came out this year that are a lot better than Destiny.
And so many people are talking about like Destiny or Titanfall. What's the better game? I'll be honest with you. I think Titanfall is a better game than Destiny. I think that.
I mean, I disagree there. I think I prefer Destiny over Titanfall. I can see why people would say that.
I think Titanfall is less ambitious. Like, I'll say that much. Titanfall was trying to make a really good, fast-paced multiplayer shooter, and they accomplished that perfectly. Destiny was trying to be this huge, ambitious thing, but at the end of the day, it's what is the final product? And the final product for Destiny is it is a very mixed experience versus Titanfall, which is probably my favorite competitive multiplayer of the year. So like
Yeah,
so far,
I just Titanfall was a disappointment for me. I didn't really get into the game like I
oh,
thought I was.
yeah. See, and I got into that game really hard because first off, man, that was a really good week to be unemployed. Let me tell you. Uh, hey man, well, not unemployed. What happened is I left one job, literally got hired by a new job like 2 days later, and they said, okay, you can start in a week. And I was like, well, I know what I'm doing for my week off. So that's what happened there. Um, but yeah, I definitely see how that could be. I definitely see how you could argue either way. And that I know that neither of those games are currently in my top three for the year. My top three right now is Donkey Kong, Transistor, and Infamous, and that's my current top three. And Donkey Kong was definitely the biggest surprise of the year for me. Like I was so shocked at that game. Like I was just like, okay, it's gonna be like the last one, where it's a very competent 2D platformer, and goddamn, that game was so good. I don't know.
Yeah. But yeah, I don't know. It's very like you see things like this Queens of Wrath. Like they're doing this thing that's like a 2 week long Queens of Wrath where pretty much what it is you can go take bounties that are exclusive for Queens of Wrath, and just like you do in the Crucible or in you I forgot what they call it. There's the Crucible. What is everything else called? The
Just uh,
because they have Vanguard marks. Vanguard.
yeah, there we go.
Yeah, so there's Crucible marks and Vanguard marks, and pretty much you earn the Crucible marks through playing Crucible and Vanguard through everything else. Queen's Wrath pretty much the same thing, where you complete these bounties and they have special missions. Keep in mind, these special missions aren't unique in any way. They're just slightly modified. It's not like they're different environments or anything. You're still fighting the same enemies, so it doesn't feel different in any way. And you're earning this reputation to buy gear and weapons, but the thing is, it's not like the gear and weapons that you get from this Queen's Wrath is any better than you would get from the Crucible or the Vanguard, so what's the purpose of it? Like, Bronson, have you looked at the Queen's Wrath and what they've been doing there?
Like I looked at the gear is slightly better. Like it's not better enough to go out of my way to not do the fastest path, which is the Crucible, or even if you fucking hate PvP, yeah, I mean, why wouldn't you do Vanguard like instead? Because it's slightly easier. Like I don't get it. Like as someone who has played MMOs for a long time, I get the MMO treadmill. I am fucking horribly addicted to World of Warcraft whenever new content comes out. You can ask Anthony when a new patch comes out for that game. It is like fucking heroin to me. But this game, like they said Queen's Wrath, and I was like, so, yay, more grinding. Ooh.
Right.
And it like I think the best way to put it is like when a new patch comes out in World of Warcraft, or a traditional MMO, it's like we're adding 3 new dungeons. We got this new raid. We got 3 new dungeons, a new raid, a new questing zone, all this cool shit. Sometimes they add a little more beyond that, even where it's like I remember in World of Warcraft, they're like, yeah, check out this new thing, or check out these new types of missions. Or check out this new PvP zone, and it's that kind of stuff that makes me like, oh, okay, well, I'm definitely gonna log in, pay my $15 a month. Now, granted, this game obviously doesn't have a monthly fee, but dear God, $500 million, over half of it which went to marketing. Now seems like half of that should have went into the goddamn game design, but whatever, hey.
Yeah, I agree.
It, it's definitely it's so frustrating because you see all this potential and it feels squandered, and then there's the fact that like Like, there are games that are literally 10 years old doing what Destiny does better than it does it. You know, like World of Warcraft is 10 goddamn years old this November. It does the treadmill, the loot grind, the incentive system better than goddamn Destiny does. And this game that came out literally less than a month ago. So, you take that how you will, but I don't think it's a bad game. Once again, I just think that for all the hype that surrounded it, we were expecting a Game of the Year contender. It might not make the top 10 list. Like like that's what it's looking at. So
yeah, I mean, I'm excited. I mean, December, the first expansion pack for Destiny's coming out. We'll see what that's all.
I want to see what that is though, because like if it's literally just here's new areas to shoot the same 3 types of dude, I'm gonna be like, nope, I'm cool.
Oh, I agree. I hope it's not. Pretty much all I've said is, well, there's going to be new content in all areas. I mean, there's going to be new maps for the Crucible. There's going to be new things to do for, as far as strikes. There's going to be, I think they said there's going to be another raid, and then they said there's going to be more story to it. There's going to be like a side story to it. Well, the thing about Destiny, the story was very lackluster, so I could care less about the story.
Well, the lore they have is really cool. It's just that where's all the lore on their fucking website, which I'm not gonna go to for the story.
Yeah, that's stupid.
So I mean that shoots that in the leg as far as I'm concerned. I mean, what else is there? Like, new story content, I won't care. New PvP content, well, I'm down for new maps. This game actually launched with a pretty solid amount of maps, but I have been getting tired of them. New strikes, like I said, need something to break it up because it's literally just the same 4 types of enemy and the same 4 types of environment. Don't care.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, there's Earth, there's Venus, there's the Moon. Like,
Mars.
I want to see a wide range of environments on all these planets. Like, that's what I thought the game was gonna be. Like, I didn't think that, hey, we're bringing old Russia and the Earth for the beta. Well, the catch is that when the game comes out, this is all Earth is. It's like, literally, the beta was in the entire planet of Earth. And I was thinking, okay, this will be old Russia. It'll maybe be 4 or 5 different other places, and I was completely wrong. Which I think it's asinine to just have old Russia. Like, throw in different environments. It's like, have something from freaking, like, there's a million other places in the world. Like, have an Asian country in there. Like there's so many different places you could go. But no, it's like it's so restricted that every planet, while every planet has its own range of missions, you're still in the exact same environment.
I mean, it's really sad that, like, I know MMOs that launched 10 years ago, like World of Warcraft, even when it came out, had so many different environments. Now, not all those environments had a ton of places to quest. You didn't ask people back in Vanilla WoW what it was like questing as level 30 to 40 as a member of the Horde. But, like, there was still, I mean, I look back at that and I'm like, okay, you look at the leveling progression of Vanilla WoW, which, different style of game because it's a traditional MMO, but, like, I went from Elwyn Forest, which is like this green lush forest, to Red Witch, which is this red mountain range with dragons, to Duskwood, which is this haunted forest, to Stranglethorn Vale, which is a wild, untamed jungle, to Arathi Highlands, which is just this big open plain, to the Plague Lands, which kind of speaks for itself, zombies everywhere. And then finished off with out in Winter Spring, which is the snow area. And that was just the path I took. You wouldn't even have to make that path. There's so many different paths. Or there were, or are, whatever you want to, Pronouns. No, not pronouns. Just, never mind.
Yeah, it's crazy. Like, this just goes, like, I don't know. We've talked enough about Destiny, but it's said we're gonna do a spoiler cast on it. The game's good. It's just not near what everyone anticipated it to be. You can say, well, you had too high of expectations. Well, when expectations are set by when the expectations are set by the people who made the game, you can't really blame the person for that. You got to blame the company for not living up to their expectations. They set those expectations. It's not like the media was hyping this game up. The company was hyping this game up.
I mean, I wasn't even hyping it that hard. Like I said, I'm excited for it. This looks really good, but it's still the beta, and I no longer get excited from playing a demo or a beta. And the reason is, and the first game that did this to me was it was called I believe Full Auto. It was an early Xbox 360 title, and I played the demo on the store for the Xbox 360, and I put hours and hours and hours and hours in this motherfucking demo. And then the game came out, and it was fucking horribly mediocre, and it fucked with the Xbox 360's firmware to where you couldn't play custom soundtracks while playing the game, which I thought that was really weird. But it was really disappointing, and that was the first game that told me, like, okay, well, gotta wait for the full product to find out what this is. Now, that said, I think demos are a great thing, and same with betas, getting to try before you buy, to see if you like the initial concept. I bought many a game off of a demo or a rental, but on the other end of that, I probably would not have bought Titanfall if I probably would have bought the Forza Xbox instead of the Titanfall Xbox had I not played the beta. So anyway,
moving along, sticking to MMOs, it was announced that Blizzard has canceled an MMO game they've been working on for 7 years, named Titan.
Yes. Now, okay, so Anthony and I have talked about Titan a million times on the raid, what we think it's going to be. This is a bummer, but anyway, you were saying.
No, I'm just saying, I think it's crazy that you would work on a game for 7 years. Like, 7 years of having a team of people build a game. Like, that's a lot of money that you spent. And I understand there's brand reputation and you don't want to release a game that's not going to be good. But why did it take them 7 years to figure this out? That, hey, this game, maybe we shouldn't release it. Like, I understand you have to actually, like, okay, what's the story going to be like? What's the art design? Yes, it's going to take a couple years, and you actually just got to start building it. Once you build it, that's where you really see how it plays. But 7 years, like 2 to 3 years, you should have figured out, hey, maybe we should go back to the drawing board or cancel this game. Not 7 years.
First off, this is Blizzard. This doesn't surprise me. All right, they spent fucking 5 years on StarCraft Ghost and then decided, nah. That.
It's like, I understand you're talking about the same guys who made World of Warcraft where they make a shit ton of money. So it's not like they're going to get into money struggles over this, but it's just horrible management of resources.
Oh, I agree with you.
They could have been using these resources doing a million other things.
I'm sure, like, my thing with this is I'm sure that Blizzard is going to go cry into their pile of money. Like, that's, because right now they're running one of the most successful online games in WoW. One of the most successful online...
WoW is the most successful online game of all time, isn't it?
Yeah, like it's most... and then they also have Hearthstone, which is wildly popular. And they have the most popular esport game until League of Legends came out, StarCraft. I mean, Blizzard could literally make hundreds of Titans, and it probably wouldn't hurt them that much as long as they keep doing what they're doing on their other parts. This is a bummer. I'm kind of curious what they're going to be doing for their next MMO. World of Warcraft is still king of the MMO market 10 years later, and it still has 7 million subscribers. 10 years later, and it's probably going to get an uptick with the new expansion and all the 10th anniversary stuff coming out. So, I mean, on the one hand, I'm like, oh, that sucks. I was hoping to see a new MMO from the guys who pretty much wrote the book on it. But on the other end of it, I'm like, okay, well, this means they could be working on a WoW 2. Put another one in the Warcraft universe with an updated engine. This could mean a lot of things that are that could be positive. Yeah,
Yeah, but at the same time, they could have been using that 7 years and released World of Warcraft 2 by now.
this is true, but those expansion packs are damn good. Like, honestly, if you look at WoW now and you look at it when it released, two completely different games. The only thing that is same is the art style. They've even improved the graphics engine. Like if people are like, I want a WoW 2, I'm like, we've gotten WoW 2 on 5 different occasions. And we're or 4, and we're about to get another soon. But that said, like Blizzard's not hurting for money. Diablo, like every game they make, sells in the millions. None of their games, other than the initial release of Diablo 3, have been really panned critically, and even it did well. I mean, this is going to go into Blizzard's box of failures with StarCraft Ghost and Warcraft Adventures, and and people are going to bring it up occasionally. It's like, oh yeah, you remember that thing? Like, oh yeah, that never happened. That sucks. But it won't really matter. Honestly, the number one thing I've been requesting from Blizzard is Warcraft 4. For those of you, Warcraft 3...
I'm not a big MMO person. Destiny's really the only MMO I've really gone into, but when Warcraft 3 came out, I loved Warcraft 3. It was just, the ability, what got me, what I thought was really awesome, is you could go and, like, please, oh man, my words are really bad. Please, dismiss my, noob language when it comes to Warcraft. Whatever, like, you could go into those, like, missions or whatever, and there'd be missions, like, for, let's say, like the NFL, and you go in and you'd be, like, fighting Terrell Owens, or there would be, like, The Simpsons, you'd go in and you'd be fighting Simpsons characters, and, they did that a lot with, what's that very, crude, animated show that they come out with. I'm forgetting.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. No, Warcraft 3 was awesome. It had a great story mode. Its competitive play was awesome. It looked good for the time. It still actually looks okay now. Like, really blocky, but colorful and, neat to look at. So what's this one putting it? I think. I guess the best way I'd put it is Warcraft. But I remember at E3, I was talking with several people from Blizzard throughout my day. Like, I'd run into them, or stuff would just happen where I would see people from Blizzard. I would have conversations with them about what they're making. I'm like, so Warcraft 4, is that going to be a thing? And they're like, well, the RTS team is working on StarCraft, but after that expansion, they don't really have any plans yet. And my suggestion was Warcraft 4 should be a thing.
I don't think they're gonna do Warcraft 4, just from the standpoint of the business model with World of Warcraft has made them a shit ton more money. Like, Warcraft 3, you'd buy the game, you're done with it. Whereas World of Warcraft, they got people paying monthly. So I don't think we're gonna see Blizzard running away from that monthly billing cycle anytime soon. Because getting $15 a month from millions of people every single month, that's some pretty good money right there.
Yeah, no doubt about that. Like, I think that
I don't think they're gonna. I just couldn't see them going back to, okay, here's a Warcraft 4, buy it for $50. That's all you gotta do. Like, no, they'll do World of Warcraft 2, and it'll be $15 a month, and they'll just rinse and repeat what they've been doing.
And then World of Warcraft 1 will, like, go and who knows what.
What they'll do is they'll probably make World of Warcraft, like, free at that point.
Yeah, like, and first off, World of Warcraft right now is not going anywhere. 10 years as the number one MMO that is pay to play. Like, 10 motherfucking years. That is crazy. Like, you just sit and think about all that has fucking changed since the World of Warcraft came out. think about that for a second. Like, think about 2004, the last gen of consoles. Well, the console generation at the time was the PS2. Like George Bush was president. I mean, like, just uh, I was in. I wasn't even in high school yet. I was in 7th grade when that game came out. So I mean, Jesus, that puts you in perspective. Like that tells you about, and it's because they keep changing it. Like they keep updating it with the times so it doesn't get old. So I don't know, man.
And that's what they need to do with Destiny. It's funny because Blizzard's a part of Activision now. Like they should have used some of their resources from Blizzard to help them out with Destiny. That's what you would think they would do. I mean, how you gonna pretty much be the same company as the guys who perfected MMO and then come out with this MMO game, a $500 million budget, and not be done right?
Well, I mean,
like you own Blizzard. Like, grab some guys from Blizzard to help you with the damn game.
I mean, I think part of Destiny or Bungie's contract after working with Microsoft is when they were bought is like, no, we run ourselves and we're independent, the same way Blizzard does. So I mean, that's probably what happened because
I guess, yeah.
And whatever, like that's all on them. I don't know, man. It's really hard to, I guess, look at Destiny and World of Warcraft and Blizzard and these three things and go like, well, like if Bungie would have went to Blizzard, I'm like, yeah, but then, then how much input is Blizzard getting and all this other crap. Like there was a lot that could have happened there that wouldn't have been great for them. So.
Yeah. Well, moving along, PlayStation Plus, Sony has announced a free game lineup for the month of October. So those with a PlayStation 4, Dust and Elysian Tale will be coming out for free.
That is a great game. You should be. Let's comment. Dust is a great game. I played it when it came out on 360. It's very Metroidvania-like. So if you enjoyed Metroid or Shadow Complex or what's a PlayStation equivalent? That style of game, Castlevania, then you should like it. Okay, continue.
Spelunky's coming out, which is also cross-buy, so you can get on your PlayStation 3 as well.
And Vita.
Your Vita.
That game is hard as hell. It's a roguelike, has a lot of polish. I have a friend who is actually like top 100 on the 360 leaderboard for it.
That's crazy. Then also the Drive Club edition, PlayStation Plus edition, where you get, I believe it's 10 cars and 11 tracks, or it might be the opposite, 11 cars, 10 tracks, one of the two. And you still get all game modes. So it's not a demo, but it's it's not the full game either. And if you are a PlayStation Plus member, you can upgrade from the PlayStation Plus edition to the full game for $50. If you want to buy the retail version, you're still going to have to pay $60 because obviously they have no way of authenticating when you go to Target or Best Buy or GameStop, which I don't recommend, whether or not you're a PlayStation Plus subscriber. So, yeah, that's it for the PlayStation 4. On to the PlayStation 3, Batman Arkham Asylum.
Man, like, look, I get it. It's Halloween. You want to do something Halloween-esque. But I'm so just, like, really... Like, first off, Batman Arkham Asylum is a fucking amazing game. It placed in our top 3 when we did Game of the Year awards that year. It's one of the best games of the last console generation. But it's so fucking old, and you can literally find that game in any bargain bin for under $10. So, like, I don't get, like, you really couldn't get something slightly newer? Like, how about Arkham Origins, when it came out last year, or any of these other kind of spooky games? You're fucking going that far back in the well.
Yeah, Arkham Asylum has been out for quite some time now.
That game's been out for 5 years. Alright, whatever. Continue.
Damn, it's been 5 years since that game came out.
Yeah.
Damn, that makes me feel old.
Yeah,
Time just flies
that
by.
came
Holy
out
shit.
literally the week before my senior year of high school started. Aaron and I played the living crap out of it.
That's crazy.
Anyway, continue.
The next game, Dungeons and Dragons Chronicles of Mysteria for PlayStation 3.
Alright co-op game. Fun sometimes. I wouldn't call it like a system seller, but, you know, not bad.
Alright, then for the PlayStation 4 and Vita, Pix the Cat. I have no clue what that game's about.
I have heard it is like, so it's an indie game that is like a combination of Snake and Pac-Man. So, that's pretty much what I know.
Then after that, the equivalent for PlayStation 3 and PlayStation Vita, Rainbow Moon.
I have heard a lot of good stuff about that game. It's a JRPG, or strategy RPG. I've heard a lot of good stuff, just never played it. So,
that concludes the lineup for PlayStation Plus for October. So, another month for the PlayStation 4, we don't get a full entire game. Yes, we get Arden Drive Club PlayStation Plus Edition, but you're not getting the full game.
I mean,
next month's November, so November will be the PlayStation 4's anniversary. So maybe for its anniversary, we'll get its first retail game. I think it's about time. I mean, yes, I understand, like, at the beginning, all these new games, you don't want to give out brand new
I really
retail games for free on PlayStation Plus, but when you look at games like, for example, Thief dropped down to $30 a week after it came out because the game is bad and just sold
Tomb Raider is $30 right now. Why not Tomb Raider?
Yeah, like, throw Thief in there, or the Tomb Raider Definitive Edition, or... Like Knack, like that game's done. That game's not selling anymore. Throw Knack in there. It's a freaking first-party studio.
I guarantee you that Assassin's Creed will be there in November. And the reason I say is because the new one will be out. They want to get people hyped. And by the Assassin's Creed games depreciate in value like fucking crazy. So I would be willing to bet. I'd be willing to put money that Assassin's Creed 4 would be on next month. So I don't know. Do we have the 360 list for next month / Xbox One, or should I pull that up? Because I know they announced it, but I don't know if we talked about it.
I totally forgot about that. Let me say.
Pull that up. Anthony's back, by the way. Pull that up
Anthony's back.
Yeah, I mean, this isn't a bad list. Arkham's a great game if you haven't played it yet. Drive Club, getting a taste of that is great. It's cool that they're doing that. What else? What was another one in there? The other PS4 game. What I'm forgetting.
Wait, the PlayStation 4 game?
Yeah, Drive Club, Spelunky. What else?
Dust, Elysian Tale.
Oh yeah, that game is fucking great. Like, Dust is a fantastic game. If you haven't played it, you absolutely should. That's not a bad month. I think that the fact that they're doing only indies, I just wish they'd put like a bigger indie title, like an Octodad or a Transistor. Like, I get that those are still selling.
Oh, I really thought Octodad was going to be available this month, but maybe next month.
I know Transistor is not going to be making it for a while. Like, that game is doing really well, and thank God, because that game's great. It's good that's getting the recognition it deserves. It's my current game of the year, but I also think that, I also think that, like, this lineup could be better. Like, I think Arkham Origins is only a year old. A lot of people haven't played it. It's not the best Batman Arkham game, but it's still newer at least, so people haven't checked it out yet. I think that on the PlayStation 4 front, we could have got Octodad. You could have gave out Valiant Hearts. That was a great game. There's more they could have done with that. As for on the Vita end of things, I don't fucking know, man. Video games. We didn't even have big games. I don't know.
Yeah. All right, cool. So let's go ahead and talk about what games with gold. So talking about old games, Xbox 360, Battlefield Bad Company 2, you get for free.
I mean, you're getting the best Battlefield game, I guess. That's. I think it came out the same year. Hold on, what year did that come out?
No, like really, what's next? Forza Motorsport 2? That's like that's the Forza I find the most fun.
Okay, hold on. I'm looking at Bad Company 2's release date.
I feel like it's 06,
man.
05.
2010. 2010.
Oh, whoops.
2010.
So,
really? Is 2010?
Bad Company 2 was Bad Company 2, not Battlefield 2, but Bad Company 2 was 2010.
Wow. I thought it was longer ago than that, but still, that's almost 5-year-old game. For Xbox One, it's getting Chariot, which is a co-op action platformer from an indie studio. Doesn't look like any other Xbox One games have been announced, so it looks like just Chariot. But then they said there's at least 2 every month, right?
Hold on.
I think I might be missing something here.
Hold on, yeah, no way, because I know they announced more. Okay, Chariot. Battlefield Bad Company 2.
Which Bad Company is obviously for the 360.
Darksiders 2, which came out in 2012.
Yeah, Darksiders for 360.
And the other Xbox One game is they're keeping one of last month's games on there. I forgot which one.
Which is Crimson Dragon.
Yeah, which that game is okay. It's not great, but it's not awful. It's good. It's solid. It's fun. It's a rail shooter. I don't know, I just don't think that it's. I don't know. I think that the Xbox list here is equally as disappointing. These games that we're getting are good, but out of all these games,
super old.
It's out of all these games though that are coming out, the one I'm most excited to play is probably Darksiders 2.
Wait. What for? What system?
360.
Okay, because it was actually on PlayStation Plus a long time ago.
So I don't know. I don't know how to feel about this. It's this is obviously a bad. And that's the thing about this. Some months are fucking amazing, right? Like some months with these services, you're like, "What? That's awesome," and then some months you're like, "Ugh."
But it's quote free unquote.
Well, at this point, it might as well be free because I have to use it to play online. So
yeah, it's pretty.
I mean, it's like the way I think about it is just like a really nice rental deal because they call it free games, but they don't work unless you keep paying your subscription. So it's kind of like
the way I think about it is I think of them as free because I'm like, okay, I pay my $50-$60 to play online, and then the games I get are free. That's the way I think about it. Because I mean, I'm not gonna have an Xbox One or a PlayStation 4 and not have online service.
I mean,
for it.
I have Xbox Live. I am without Xbox Live multiple months of the year. Like when I get bored of Madden, I will absolutely cancel my Live subscription. Because that's, but that's what's gonna happen there. Like same thing with Halo. Like when I get bored of Halo, I'm like, all right, I'm gonna cancel Live for the next couple months. My PlayStation subscription though, because I play all my multi-plats on PlayStation, I will keep that subscription going up all year long. So yeah, that's how that's gonna work.
So next month marks the anniversary of the Xbox One and PlayStation 4. It's almost been a year. It's crazy. These consoles still feel brand new to me, and they've almost been out for a year. Which I get. I mean, it's still new, but it's crazy how time's fly by. But cool. I mean, yeah, that's all the news topics I had. There just really wasn't much news this week. Anything you got, Bronson?
Yeah, I got a couple. First thing is IGN did the top 125 Nintendo games. Because everyone, Nintendo is 125 years old.
Wow.
Yeah,
In
well,
the-
long
Yeah,
history.
they were producing video. They were producing games long before the computer.
Yeah,
They were producing playing
making,
cards, right?
They did Hanafuda playing cards. If you don't know what that is, go look it up. And also, they have been doing Love Hotels. They also own part of the Seattle Mariners. So
Have you guys seen the branching off a little bit? Have you guys seen the new Surface Pro commercial with the Seahawks?
no,
Nope,
but-
I only saw the
It's-
ones where they bash on MacBook Airs or something.
No, it's so funny. So, because we all know Microsoft's headquartered in Seattle, and the new Surface Pro commercial is, when you watch it, you think it's a commercial for the Seahawks. Like, oh my God, they actually have a commercial for an NFL team? Because you see like Russell Wilson and all the like Seahawks players at the very end. It's like Surface Pro. It's like, okay, what?
I think the
Okay.
whole point they're saying is that we're so dominantly good that even the Seahawks support us. I think that's
Right,
what they're
and
trying to
it's funny
say,
'cause-
but, you know.
It's funny because the whole Donald Sterling incident with Clippers, he was forced to sell it, blah, blah, blah. So Steve Ballmer, formerly the CEO of Microsoft, ended up buying the Clippers, and he has banned the use of iPads with the organization. You are not allowed to use an iPad if you work for the Clippers.
That's fucking hilarious.
What? So if I say work for... And that's just really ridiculous. That's like saying, you know, nobody here will drive a Toyota. No one here will drive any Asian branded vehicle. Even though your Asian branded vehicle is technically is assembled in America. Like, what the
I mean,
heck?
to be fair enough, I mean, he is the employees that were using iPads, he's buying them Surface Pros. So it's not like you're being forced to go buy a new tablet. But I just think it's kind of funny.
like I wouldn't be that upset about that. I'd be like, you want to buy me a far better, far more expensive tablet, sir? Go right ahead. You know, like the only thing that I would bitch about is weight and having to move all my books over to a different format. Like that's what would irritate me. It's like, fuck, I need to rebuy all my motherfucking books. This is annoying.
Not to mention, it's like you're kind of like I guess the equivalent for someone like me would be like, I've been working on a PC my whole life, and all of a sudden I'm told, sorry pal, you have to switch to Mac if you're going to even think about editing videos anymore at this building. I'm like, darn.
Anthony, we're gonna have to have that talk in a couple of years, but
No, not having that talk.
I'm kidding. No, I would not be surprised if like Nick got us an office and just we were all on Mac workstations, and then it's like, well, Anthony, you can
Look,
you bring
at
in your
least no. Photoshop and Premiere Profiles are cross-platform, I think, so I'm fine.
Yeah, they are.
They're cross-platform. Nick can work on his
Yeah,
Mac.
that's the thing. Like, if you edit video, like, here's the thing: if you edit video on a PC or Mac, if you're using Premiere Pro, it's the exact same thing.
Yeah,
Whereas-
it's just that the only difference really is the key commands, obviously, because you have like the Option key, and whereas in Windows you have the Alt key. So, it's cross-platform. So yes, I could stay on my computer, and while you all people get to enjoy your aluminum brush Macs, I can actually play games on my computer. Thank you. I don't know, because we're the gamer access. Not Mac access. I'm sorry.
I really look forward to the technology hell that first office is going to be. Like,
I'm going to do my best to make sure it doesn't end up that way.
Like, it is going to be just like fucking desktops everywhere. Like, everyone will have no idea whose laptop is whose until we fucking open it. Like, fucking Jesus. Like, it's gonna be like...
we're gonna have, like, cubicles or certain areas, so we'll know whose is who. Not to mention, we tend to have our favorite laptop brand. I mean, Aaron has his Asus, I have my MSI, and Nick has his MacBook Pro, and you have your Alienware. Easy. Just check the brand.
Yeah.
Although at this point, I am very tempted to say that maybe I will not purchase an MSI laptop ever again, and this is having used the laptop for only 3 days total in the last.
Have you got the replacement yet?
Nope, it's still sitting in SoCal, waiting for a new laptop, for a new speaker apparently. Okay, this is the thing, they give you a 2-year warranty, but they expect you to pay for shipping, and it takes 10 to 25 business days. So you might not see your laptop for like over a month.
Why does it? Hold on. Why does it sound like tires are screeching?
Like HP's warranty stuff is a lot nicer because I think they like give you an actual box to put your laptop in. They 2-day ship it to their repair place, fix it, and 2-day ship it back to you, and you can keep the box. Like HP is so much nicer about it.
I hear tires screeching in someone's background. Which one of you is that?
I'm playing a racing game right now.
And I like how he says racing game.
I mean, I can drive and talk, okay? I'm not on a cell phone.
Anthony, you can say which
Anthony is playing Drive Club.
I am playing Drive Club.
You guys, he can't talk about.
I can say that it features cars, and you drive them on a track.
It's a video game. It has sound.
It has sound. There are cars.
Honestly, I want that to be like a segment on the website one day. Totally objective video game reviews.
I know what people are trying to say. They want reviews to kind of be like more open-minded and fair, not like completely emotional, because the problem with emotion is that you rate everything a 0 or a 10 emotionally. Yeah, I understand like what you guys mean by objective, but you kind of have to be aware that objective is not exactly the right word, because fact, this game is made with C++ programming language. Fact, as tire screech sounds.
Yeah, like, so, anyway, back to the topic at hand.
Yeah, could you imagine, it's like, you break embargo by posting a review, and like the company starts freaking out, and then they read it, and it's just you just saying, so in Drive Club, you race cars. Pretty much just like reviewing the details of the game.
You know what's
there's 11 track. There's this many track locations. There's this many cars. You drive cars around tracks. Whoever finishes ahead is the winner. Whoever finishes behind them is second place.
No, I've got a great idea. We put out a Drive Club objective video review, and we just use their press assets.
Exactly.
Because we're not allowed to use our own footage, but we are allowed to use the press assets that they give us, I think. I need to check the...
Wait, is that for preview coverage or just the review?
No, it's like the stuff they like give to you that they already kind of release, like trailers and stuff like that.
Oh, yes, I know what press assets are, trust me. I get them mailed to me for games we're not reviewing all the time. Trust me.
But yeah, they would have a heart attack, and then to find out we're just listing a bunch of factual stuff that could have been. It's like a copy paste of the blog.
Probably. That there was a news story. Nintendo's 125 years old. Gonna be doing a Bronson Rants on that soon. But IGN had a user top 10 Nintendo games of all time. So developed by Nintendo. And then or published, and the same goes for their own top 10. So I'm going to read them both, and you give me your opinions. All right, so this is IGN's their editor list. Number 10, Pokemon Red, Blue, and Yellow.
Okay.
Number 9, Super Mario Bros. 3. Number 8, Super Mario World. Number 7, Metroid Prime.
Yeah, Metroid Prime.
Number 6, The Legend of Zelda: A Link to the Past. Number 5, Super Mario 64. Number 4...
Mario 64 was so good.
Oh, dude, that game. I got that game as a kid and just... my life.
Oh, I remember, not my neighbor, but three houses down from where I used to live with my parents back in North Carolina when I was a kid. Me and him would I'd just go over to his place and we'd play that game from the moment we got out of school to our parents were calling, telling me that I need to come back to go to bed every single day.
Oh, man, I remember that game when I first got it.
That and Super Smash Brothers.
That and Killer Instinct were my first two N64 games that I got, and I put so much time into them. I remember a friend of mine at the apartment my family was living at the time. Got the game also, and we spent fucking hours just being like, did you find this secret? Did you find that secret? isn't it so cool that you can get Yoshi if you get everything? Yeah, and then there were all kinds of rumors about the game. That's actually one thing I kind of miss about video games without the internet. Is like now we can know everything about a game within a month of it being out. Like, but when we were kids, though, like you would have to wait literal like just months to find out everything, and it was literally just all through the schoolyard or through talking with people. So and there'd always be these fake things going around, like, oh well, so and so, like, oh man, you play as Luigi, and like you would try whatever bullshit rumor it was to play as Luigi, and you do it, you're like, he lied to me. Or like, but it was kind of a neat thing. Or when you and a bunch of people figured something out that no one else figured out, like it was this cool little niche thing. Like, oh, we're the ones who figured out, you could go to Negative World in Super Mario Bros. Or, we're the ones who figured out the Yoshi thing or whatever. So yeah, Mario 64 is great. Tetris. I would say influential. Like, I would say
influential, and it made the Game Boy a huge seller.
Yeah, that game sold the Game Boy. Like, we talk about, system sellers, like that is one of the ultimate system sellers of all time.
Yeah, and just when you think the Game Boy was gonna die, Pokemon happens.
Yeah, like
and then it lived even longer.
Yeah, and then Pokemon.
The good old Game Boy Link, I think is what it was called.
Oh, the fucking
where
link
you get the link and you could trade Pokemon in battle.
Yeah, like actually the Game Boy Advance also had that before they came up with the freaking wireless adapter peripheral that came with Pokemon Leaf Green, and that was like the only significant game to ever use the wireless adapter. But yeah, that freaking link cable was like, oh man, and each tray took like 30 seconds because I had to go through the whole thing of transferring those little bytes across that little cable.
Oh, and like
freaking that 8-bit processor is ridiculous.
It took forever to trade Pokemon, and sometimes it would fail, and you'd have to go and do it again and again, and it was, oh man, just so the link cable was hell. It made it so you play multiplayer Game Boy.
And it was really slow because I think like the Game Boy had like an 8-bit processor, which freaking that's like. It literally is like late 70s, early 80s tech right there.
That's super high tech right there. I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh man, I literally worked on something that had like 8 or 16 bits, and you're like, oh my goodness, like the most amount of memory you can have is like 16 kilobytes, I think. Kilobytes.
Those lovely Tetris graphics.
I mean, you look at a game like Pokemon and how ingenious that game is and how well it works and everything, and you're like, and then you think about the technical limitations, and you're like, this is a miracle this got made.
It was a miracle. Everything was expressed in hexadecimal. Yeah. I think that's what literally happened. Everything was just kind of expressed in hexadecimal because they were that few bits. Like, we talk about the wonders of 64-bit processing, and here's the Game Boy with only 8 bits. And you had to get really clever if you wanted your game to be bigger.
And then you also had, like, oh man, that was crazy. Number 3, Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time.
Well, so the core gameplay, so good that they're still doing it today.
Yeah.
Some things that game did not age too well.
I would agree with that, yes.
I mean, there was like maybe a couple design oversights that they didn't think about, such as the owl and the fact that the original Navi drove everyone up the wall.
Hey!
No,
listen.
the owl was really bad because you're mashing A, and he was like, "Would you like me to say it again?" Yes. No.
The owl still is not as bad as Navi because the owl doesn't follow me. I am in the middle of this goddamn field looking for treasure, looking for heart pieces and all this other crap, and out comes Mr. Owl, or out comes Navi. Hey man, Death Mountain. Where we need to be is Death Mountain. I'm like, I'm exploring, Navi. Leave me alone. Death Mountain. Death Mountain. Death Mountain. Leave me alone. Like that's what it was.
Yeah.
That said, though, that game, you can go back and play that game right now, and there are some parts that don't hold up. but the majority of it does. So, and that's really hard to say about most games that are at this point 12, 14. That game's what? 14, 16 years old, right? Something like that?
Came out in 98.
Yeah.
16 years.
Yeah, so that game is 16 years old.
It's a teenager now, guys.
Well, Super Mario Kart on the Super Nintendo is old enough to drink.
Yeah, great.
So...
It's worse for the Genesis.
Completely random thought. Do you guys remember Earthworm Jim?
Yes.
That game was so amazing.
I remember him being in Clay Fighter 63 in a third. Also, man, I did not realize how racist that game was until I played it as an adult. Anyway, number 2 is Super Metroid, which we just celebrated. That game's 20th in 60-minute access.
I don't think I'm that much of I have Super Metroid game. I don't think I'm that much of a Super Metroid fan if I played it. It just doesn't interest me.
I get why it's popular, and it all comes down to game design. But yeah, I can see that. And number 1, no question, this must have been a no-brainer for their staff. Super Mario Bros.
Like personally, like for me personally, it's just like the original Super Mario Brothers. Yeah, from a historic perspective, makes a lot of sense. Personal preference, not really. I mean, all I can remember is the fact that if I could even get the game to work, on the NES, I was extremely awful at it, and I was like, yeah.
I think my thing with that game was I thought it was a great game. And that's another game that if you play it today, it's still wildly entertaining. Like I could sit and play Super Mario Bros. For fucking hours. But the real genius of it is, or the real historical perspective on it, rather, is that game saved video games. Like
yes, from historic view, it did, or at least in North America, it did. Because in Japan, games were still fine. It was just that in America, it just died when you had the video game crash with Atari and the fact that Kool-Aid even had his own game. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Then the game came out. Oh, no.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. But, from a historic perspective, yeah, it makes lots of sense.
I mean, yeah, like that. There's the historic perspective, like you said. And then there's the fact that game, if I was teaching a class on game design and how to do a tutorial with no words, I would show them that first level. That is the game I would show. It would be like, okay, all right, you are sitting there alone. You start moving. You press the D-pad. You go forward. Okay, I'm moving forward. What do I do? Oh, okay. There's a dude coming at me. Well, maybe I should jump. Okay, well, if I don't jump, he kills me. So that is an enemy.
And it's not that hard, too, because the NES only had, like, a D-pad, start, select A and B, that's it. It's not like today's controllers where there's, like, frickin' D-pad, 2 analog sticks that can click down, share, options, touchpad, 4 buttons, 2 shoulder buttons, 2 triggers, and 2 shoulder buttons. And motion sensing. And it's a lot.
Yeah, exactly. Or a fucking screen in the middle. Dear Jesus. That was. I look at that and I'm like, okay, well, there is so much. I think I forgot the name of who said this, but it was a genius quote to me. Anyone can make something complicated. Anyone can make something complicated. The true genius is making something simple, or making something complicated simple, and that is very much the case with Super Mario Brothers. Like that, and I feel that's the case with a lot of good games. Like you look at the original Legend of Zelda, that game is complicated as hell, but so many people have played it from start to finish just because they made it easy to pick up. Anyway, on to the user list. Mario Galaxy at 10, GoldenEye at 9, Wind Waker at 8, A Link to the Past at 7. Smash Bros. Melee at 6. Oh, well, let's talk about Smash.
Yeah. See,
I spent a
That's
lot of time playing Melee.
Smash Brothers is definitely going to get in that top 10 because, well, it's the most famous Smash Brothers. It's the one everyone cling on to and say that is the most competitive Smash Brothers, which, okay.
Well, there's only 3 of them. Actually, when this comes out on Friday, so then there's 4 of them. Soon to be 5. Melee's a great game. I think that game ages really well. I played it with some friends recently. We had a lot of fun. I recently watched actually a pro match of it, and it was ridiculous to watch. It looked like a Dragon Ball Z fight. Like, it was ridiculous.
Have you seen that video of Fox and Falco in Sudden Death?
Yes, that's the one.
Yeah.
That is a fucking Dragon Ball Z fight, is what that is.
Yeah.
That said, great game. Moving forward. Super Mario Brothers 3, Super Mario World. All right, the top 3 here, you can tell this was made by people our age. You can tell.
You mean people who grew up in the 2000s?
Grew up in the late 90s and 2000s. Yes, very much so. All right, so the first one here, Pokemon Red, Blue, and Yellow.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, so all right, Super Mario 64.
Yes, I'm okay with that.
And Zelda Ocarina of Time.
You know, maybe those 3 games are really late 90s, aren't they?
Yeah.
Because for me, my time period is more like the mid 2000s. Because if I were to like write down my list of the top 10 games I've ever played, you're gonna notice that a lot of it is skewed towards the mid 2000s.
If I were to write down my top 10, it'd be really varied because you would have a lot of the 2000s, but then you'd have some late 90s, and it'd be very, very.
Yeah, it's
different.
like for me, it's like you'll see one Super Nintendo game, and that would be Chrono Trigger. Because I didn't play Final Fantasy VI. I might put Final Fantasy IV, but I don't think I'm the most fond of that game, so that might not happen. There's like Twilight Princess. There's you'll see The Last of Us. There's some really recent stuff too.
Yeah, I would have some recent stuff on mine, like Persona 4. Obviously, make my list.
And Skyward Sword would get on that top 10, and no one would agree with me.
You're crazy.
I know, I am crazy. Why do you think, like, no one ever... Why do you think I'm kind of like, hey, guys, you know about this? No.
So
like, I can't talk to anybody about games because my tastes are just whacked.
We're most likely gonna have a panel at SnafuCon, which is the Reno, Nevada, the Sierra Nevada Anime Fan Convention. It's anime and video games convention. If you can get to Northern Nevada for the 24th of October, we're gonna be there. Have fun on your pilgrimage. Anyway, we're gonna be there, and I have a feeling that if we get Skyward Sword brought up during the panel, it's gonna cause a fight. The game is gonna.
Well, you guys already went through the trouble of trying. Because here's the problem: is that you are actually more successful in trying to insult Skyward Sword than Twilight Princess. Because it's my favorite game ever, but at least I know Twilight Princess has its problems. Skyward Sword, on the other hand, I literally said it was like one of the most perfect games I've ever played.
I don't understand.
I don't understand Persona 4. Can you explain to me Persona 4? Because all I did was get stuck in Kanji's dungeon, and I'm just like, I don't get this. What is the magic of Persona 4? Everyone said anyone who's touched it has like found gold or something, and I'm not figuring it out right now. I gave up and I haven't played that game in like how long has it been now? 5 months?
We should let's play that game.
No, well,
2-year let's play.
The day we retire Super Mega Awesome Go Playtime, we'll think about it.
Oh god, that is gonna be the best, most awful day ever. It's gonna be like, it's like, oh man, this means
at least you'll like it.
Oh, I will enjoy every minute of playing through that game again, especially if we get a Vita TV and do the Vita version. Because then it'll be 70 hours long.
Woo! Oh no.
We would have.
I hope that game is entertaining to commentate on for 70 hours.
You know, I watched
over the course
Giant
of
Bomb
3 years.
I watched Giant Bomb play through all 100 hours of the full playthrough of the original.
How are we going to commentate on that over the course of 3 years?
Do what we did with Okami and start talking about random bullshit part of the way through?
I mean, no, like, the game has to be entertaining now, because Okami was a lot of us dungeon traversing. Then again, I'm pretty sure, crap, I lost my thought. Yeah, I lost my train of thought.
I mean, yeah, a lot of it will be dungeon traversal, but during dungeon traversal is when you talk about random bullshit. Also, there's some funny stuff that comes from dungeon traversal, as I found, because when Mitch and I played it, like, why are we fighting Rainbow Hulk Hogan? Oh, yeah. Nintendo turned 125.
Happy birthday, Nintendo.
Happy birthday, Nintendo! Woo! Hopefully 125 more.
We wish you a very good future, because it sounds like you're really going to need it.
Yes. Very much.
On the
right
console front, the handhelds are dominating.
The handhelds are dominating. You've got a new 3DS that's going to come out, and the new 3DS, I wish they'd just give it a better name already. It's like, you've got 3DS, and then you got the new 3DS. Hey, I bought a new 3DS. Which one? The new 3DS.
It's like what
See the problem there?
It's like what Apple did with the iPad. Remember they had the iPad, and it was like the iPad 2, and then the new iPad. Isn't that what they called it?
I bought the new iPad. Which one? The new iPad. It's literally called the new iPad. It's confusing, because I'm just gonna call it 3DS 2.0. Like, that just makes it a lot easier. Because everyone knows it's 2.0 of the 3DS.
So, next news story is my most anticipated game of the year, Bayonetta 2, came out in Japan earlier this month. And it sold very poorly. Like, it took them the entire month to sell out their initial first shipment. That said,
sounds worrying.
What makes this even worse is the game, in Japan at least, is getting amazing reviews. Its lowest score right now is a 9. You know, I'm excited. I've got my copy pre-ordered and paid off. I can't wait for it. I've been listening to the soundtrack that's been posted on the internet recently. Anthony, I know you're getting Bayonetta 2. I encourage you, if you like action-adventure games with deep combo systems like Devil May Cry, God of War, Metal Gear Rising: Revengeance, if you like games of that style, buy Bayonetta. You will not be disappointed. Like, the first one was amazing. So, continuing on with news, or do we have anything to comment on that Bayonetta sales?
That sounds like, part of me is like, somehow sounds like the creepy days of the Wii, where every time a super awesome, quote, good, like, serious game comes out for the Wii, no one buys it. Like,
I bought those games. I own no more.
Yeah, you did, but no one else did. It's like, you got games like Mad World, and I think it's like The Conduit. That was one that they pushed really hard, and then Zack and Wiki.
No, I was at work today, and like, someone brought up No More Heroes, and I immediately gave that person a high five because of how good that game was and how no one played it.
Nice.
So, PlayStation Home is closing down.
Oh yes, I forgot to talk about that.
Yep, Home dies.
Yeah, they announced it was closing in Japan like a month ago, but now it's closing in North America.
Closing in North America on March 31st, 2015.
Did it ever leave beta?
Yes. Anthony and I will do some live streaming and recording for when it dies. We'll be there the day the servers go down. Don't worry. Anthony, are you excited? Are you excited to go into Home one last time?
I'm excited that Sony is focusing on things better than Home. like home had like you think about it, home in concept is like the most awesome thing. It's like a social Sims. And you can have your own apartment and you visit other people's apartments and you go to theaters and watch new game trailers and it's like a social place, and then it just never really happened that way. The only time I ever used PlayStation Home was to look at their E3 booth. Few years ago, and they give you like a free month of PlayStation Plus if you do that. So that's what got everybody to use PlayStation Home for like a day. But am I excited? I'm excited to watch it die. I mean, like freaking. There's it's not going to be on the PS4. It's something that's really stuck in the old days of the PS3, along with like life with PlayStation and lots of other crazy things they tried to do with its supercomputer thingy.
All right. Well, continuing on with.
I feel bad. Let's just say goodbye to all the pedophiles and the guys going after girls in the game who are really guys.
And then we can also say goodbye to that movie theater that when Home first came out played that same Twilight trailer over and over and over and over and over with that actually pretty good Paramore song. Moving forward, one of the better games of last year was Thomas Was Alone. I had it in my personal top 10. It won a couple awards from us. I think best was one of the funnier games. Had a good music and art. He has promised on Twitter all 3 versions will launch the same week, cost $10, and be coming to PS4, Xbox One, and Wii U in November. And if you bought it on the PS3 or the Vita, you will get the PS4 version free of charge.
Okay.
Cool.
The game has sold over 1 million copies. It's a minimalist game. It's a tale about rectangles and friendship that is Anthony, we did 60-minute acts of that game, and we all had pretty positive reactions to it, I felt.
We did.
It turns shapes into some of the best characters in video games. I don't know how it does it. It uses witchcraft, I think. More news coming out of Nintendo. All the Nintendo news, right? Just all Nintendo all the time. So Nintendo is recently announced their Smash Brothers Wii U bundle and box art. It is going to contain, for $100, a copy of Smash Brothers for Wii U, a GameCube controller, and a GameCube to Wii U adapter. For, like I said, for $100. The Wii U adapter uses both USB ports on the front of the Wii U, and is set to come out this November, is what it's looking like.
I'll buy one. I'm sorry. It's just kind of like one of those things. It's like GameCube controllers are so rare that it's like you could buy GameCube controllers. I need one.
Yeah, and you can.
Because let's be honest, like those controllers actually, from my experience, aren't exactly the most durable controllers I've ever seen. And mine, like one of mine, the cable started splitting, so it's completely useless. And the one and then I had this other one where the left analog stick got really wonky, and then I had to buy a used one, but it has a weak feeling right trigger. So not exactly the best history I've had with GameCube controllers.
Yeah.
And then they announced it, and I'm just like, yes. Personally, I think I'll just play the game with a Pro controller. The Wii U Pro controller is actually pretty good. I mean, it's like, come on, guys. It's like, it works very well, actually, and it has, like, the longest battery life in the world. Like, I haven't charged the thing since late May, and it still has 2 bars of battery left in it.
I have 2 completely functional GameCube controllers. One kind of mostly working GameCube controller. So basically, for me, I'm only probably gonna have to buy one bundle. The Smash controller, the rumor is the GameCube controllers will be $30 when you buy them separately, and they are black with a Smash Brothers logo on them instead of saying Nintendo GameCube.
Yeah.
I don't know. This is perfect. I really didn't want to have to buy multiple Pro controllers for one game. I hope they patch this GameCube support into other games like Mario Kart.
Honestly,
Honestly, Nintendo just needs to use the GameCube controller for fucking everything.
Actually, to be honest, I think the Pro controller is really good. It's just that, you know, it's kind of like one of those things where, because it's considered an optional accessory, no one has one.
Yeah.
The problem with the GameCube,
everybody has fucking GameCube controllers.
The problem with the GameCube controller is that it doesn't have a secondary analog stick. It's just a C analog stick, which I guess, but the way it's laid out,
you fucking use the second analog stick for? Like none. Like
really,
0.
I would be surprised. But anyways, like I actually have a Pro controller because I bought it along with Mario Kart, so actually I can have more than one person play, and I don't want to use Wiimotes.
Wiimotes were fine. If you have a nunchuck. But I also have a regular Wii class. Seriously, it is getting to the point where the Wii U, you have the option of the gamepad, the Wiimote and nunchuck, the regular Pro controller, the Wii U Pro controller, and now GameCube controllers.
Hey, you have many ways of playing your game.
I mean, personally, yeah. I find the tablet fine for 90% of video games.
I find the tablet fine until the battery dies.
Yeah, but then I don't...
For some reason, they stopped selling the high capacity battery, and I'm wondering like what happened to it, because that stuff sounds kind of handy.
Terrible battery life. The DualShock 4, I love the controller to death. The battery on it's so bad.
Really? Because I've been using it for about 6 hours, and I'm still at 2 bars.
Really? Yeah, I get pretty decent life out of the DualShock.
Maybe the one I have, the battery on it's bad.
I mean, I turned the light on it to the dimmest setting. Well, yeah, and I don't use voice chat at all, because I noticed like I lose a bar of battery pretty quickly if I voice chat.
I have mine on dim, but mine seems to only last me like 4 to 5 hours.
I mean, I would say mine is in the 8 to 10 area. It seems. That said, the Wii U is about 4-ish, and my personal preference is because of where I game. Plugging the Wii U controller or the PS4 controller in really isn't much of an issue, but it's still kind of annoying that I can't play from my bed and I have to play from my chair. But even then, that's a small complaint. So I think that's it for news for all of us, if I'm correct.
Yeah, no news stories, no more for me.
Okay, so website things to announce. I announced Extra Life. Okay, once again, go to the Extra Life website, look up the Gamer Access, or look up Bronson Fiore, donate. Our goal for the year is $1,000. If we make it, Anthony and I will, next year's Extra Life, Anthony and I will stream playing all through Halo 1, 2, 3, and 4.
Ooh.
That's right. So the entire stream in 2015, if we make $1,000, Anthony and I will do 1, 2, 3, and 4 straight.
Wait, 1,000 or 100?
1,000.
Okay.
So
Anthony's like, oh shit.
No, I'm just like 1,000. Oh, that seems a little right there.
I know. I want to give them incentive.
So what's the incentive for like 2,000 then?
Nick cosplays.
No. Cole Phelps.
Then if you live in Nevada, Bronson will personally come to your house and deliver you roses in a Princess Peach outfit.
That is terrifying. I'm sorry.
We need to discuss this, but we'll have incentive tiers. So like 1,000 is that Let's Play. Like 500, I don't know. We'll do something goofy for 500, like Anthony and Bremen do Gangnam Style.
That died so hard a long time ago. Look, when we went to CES, that was probably the latest you could ever do it.
You know what? Fine, we'll make you guys do his new song. What's that called again? Hangover? Yeah, okay. We'll make you and Theo do Hangover. Yeah, his new song's called Hangover. He did it with Snoop Dogg. It's horrible.
Okay, maybe that's worse.
Yeah, you might want to just do Gangnam Style with Bremen. Anyway, we'll think of different incentive tiers. Once again, it's for charity. It's for sick kids. I know each member of the team is going to have, obviously, different hospitals. I have myself set to the Reno Renown Hospital. If Anthony wants to do that, I'll probably move myself to Seattle. It's, like I said, good cause, to kids. Please donate. We don't ask you guys for money ever. This is the one time a year where we're like, holy shit, please give us money for sick kids.
Yeah, we don't get any of it. We don't get any of it.
This all goes to charity. Extra Life has been doing this for years. Last year, the charity as a whole raised $2.5 million. It helps sick kids. It makes gamers look good. You get to watch us suffer by playing games for 24 hours. Which, let me tell you, we played through Halo 3 last year, and when 4 a.m. hit, I died a little. Because I was like, I have 3 more hours to go. We'll be closing that with Dota 2. So yes, that's a thing. Friday, October 24th, we're doing another panel. Our 4th ever panel. It is going to be at what is known as Snafu Con in Reno, Nevada. If you come to Reno, Nevada that weekend, it's $20 for one day. I think it's $35 for a whole weekend. Bunch of good stuff going on there. Our panel is most likely going to be Friday night. We're going to be there Friday, and I think some of us will be there Saturday as well. I believe Bremen and maybe John and such. So if you want to come, say what's up, see our panel. We'll sign shit. We'll talk to anyone. Have a great time. Might go out to eat afterwards. Went out to eat after Game Expo. It was a blast. So yeah. 60-minute access soon. Drive Club Forza. I hope you like cars the next 2 weeks. I hope you really like cars.
I'll tell you guys when we're done recording. But I got.
See, well, Nick is fine because he has his Forza box. I'm fine because I'm actually an auto enthusiast who likes driving.
That's going
Bronson
to change.
At least enjoys a Ford GT.
That's going to change once I have my Sunset Overdrive and I get to play that and the Halo Master Chief Collection.
Master Chief Collection is going to be.
My Xbox is seriously my official Forza box. No joke, I have not put a single game into my Xbox One besides Forza for over 6 months, and now Forza Horizon 2's come out. So yeah.
So instead of Forza 5, it's now Forza Horizon.
Yeah, so it's literally my Forza box. It's not my Xbox One, it's my Forza box. Because every other game I play,
Forza box.
Every other game I play is on my PlayStation 4. I'm a huge fan of Forza. Huge fan. Drive Club comes out next week. I'm looking forward to that. Anthony's playing it right now, lucky bastard. So he will be posting his review relatively soon. So
the pressure is on to get this game done.
Yes,
pressure's
on. Embargo list.
We've got a lot of filming to do, Bronson.
Yeah. So we're also. I
am playing a card game right now. I'm not going to talk about it right now. I'll tell you guys off the recording. It's just awful. This game's gonna flunk so bad. But
also, we're also gonna be doing a this month. We're also gonna be doing 6-minute access to Persona 4 Ultimax. So those of you who love fighting games will have that. Sleeping Dogs HD and Bayonetta 2. November is probably gonna break us. Like we're probably gonna have to do 2 a week because a bunch of stuff comes out. We're looking forward to it because more coverage for you guys. Then we
Call of Duty.
Yeah. Oh, I'm so excited. Call of Duty. Yeah. Call of Duty, man.
Assassin's Creed.
It's fucking yeah. Yeah, Assassin's yeah.
We do have Little Big Planet though.
Yeah, and we also got Persona Q and we got Smash. So I mean yeah, a lot of good games that month. A lot of stuff that we have to do. Like I said, we got a lot of good stuff coming. Donate to the charity. Come see our panel. Yeah, YouTube, iTunes, Facebook. We're all those places.
Oh. Any comments or... Did we get any comments or questions?
Nope.
Come on, guys.
We know there's more of you there. We've seen the traffic spike on our charts.
Yes,
yeah.
We have statistics from verified source that there's been a traffic spike, and I'm pretty sure that at least 10% of you are not spammers. At least 10% of you. Come on.
Yes.
Honestly, I have no idea if they actually count spam as part of that traffic number. It's like spam is such an annoying thing.
Yeah, Quantcast and Alexa, they filter all that stuff out.
Great.
Yeah, so we know you guys are out there. We're up to the point where we've got like 450,000 of you guys a month. 450,000 different people every single month coming to the website. And yes, I'm sure a percentage of that is people who randomly find us through Google searches. But I also know that a large percentage of you guys listen to the Unscripted Access podcast. So let us know you guys are listening. Please, comments, questions are very much appreciated. We will read them on the podcast, assuming it's not something ridiculous. And just that's how you can. That we support you guys with the content. You support us with community. Just keep commenting and questions, and tell your friends to check us out, and have them tell their friends, and eventually we'll get to grow to something big. So, yeah.
All right.
Anything else before we close it out?
That's it for me.
The holiday season is coming.
Woo! Oh, don't remind me.
Between this and the busy season, at least one other job, like I don't get to know what sleep is anymore.
Seriously, we always keep thinking it's like summer's the best time to put out games because E3 happens and then lots of college people and grade school people are on vacation during the summer.
Yeah,
at least where we are.
Like, I understand why they put games out holiday season because people.
Yeah, because it's like 60% of your game sales happen specifically in the holiday season.
Why is the summer always dead? It makes no sense. No other games are coming out. Kids are out of school. Like, come on. Like,
it's like games come out the worst time too because like mid-October is when they all start coming out, right?
I don't know.
Like mid-October, November. The problem is that mid-October is midterms and November is prepping for finals.
I'm okay with mid-October just because that's when my birthday is. But, I mean, I would say the best time for my personal schedule for games to come out would definitely summer and then like January. So, yeah. So, anyway, we got plenty of coverage coming. We're going to be we got Game of the Year videos. I know you're all looking forward to those, as every year. You get to see the gradual process of 8 hours of us breaking as human beings.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, those... You can literally...
And we are going to arrange it so that I am on this fucking year. Because I am not letting some fucking Devil May Cry shit make it, but not fucking Tomb Raider.
Well,
I'm still upset over that.
Okay, well, you don't have to worry about Aaron being here this time.
Yeah, you don't have to worry about Aaron, but we do have to worry about Bremen and John, which, oh my god, holy shit, there's going to be so many issues.
I am more concerned about John.
Because,
tell me about how John and you talk about football, considering your guys' teams are rivals in the same division.
See, the thing is, though, John doesn't like bad video games most of the time, so, I don't think...
You'll be surprised, I guess.
I know, there's gonna be something where he's gonna be...
It's like, I'm like, Skyward Sword, and everyone's like giving me the look of like, what the hell are you doing?
No, John's gonna be like... John is gonna be like, Transistor wasn't that good, and I'll be like, fuck off. Transistor was amazing. You shut your damn mouth.
See, I don't have an Xbox One, so I can imagine what the argument as far as driving games at the end of the year is going to go.
Forza Horizon 2 is definitely in my top 10. That game is flipping them. Forza Horizon 2 is just amazing.
Nick, Forza is just a load of bland driving dynamics, spiffied up with lots of rallying where you drive your Lamborghinis at night in dirt and just get them all dirty. Woo, great, wonderful. That's some great innovation there. There's like 10 other games in the year I'm pretty sure that could beat Forza 2.
Well, I'm
sorry, I'm kind of a little bit...
First off, Anthony, you can play Forza at my house. I can tell you how we're going to get to best Xbox One exclusive. And it's like, what is there really? Like, okay, we're gonna talk about Super Time Force. Let's see, what is there? There's Super Time Force,
Cars.
Forza, Dance Central.
Titanfall.
Oh, that's on PC.
Oh
Sunset
yeah.
Overdrive. So it's gonna be like Sunset Overdrive, Forza, Dance Central. Probably.
Master
Duh.
Chief Collection. Well, that's not a new game.
That's not a new game.
That's a collection. That's a collection.
If Master
However,
Chief Collection
we can.
is
Here's
not
the thing: the rule is we can judge it on new content. So
Right.
if they have like a bunch of gazillion apps, and those gaps are somehow like the most amazing things that ever conceived in the history of Halo, maybe we can consider putting it up there.
So here's the thing: I guarantee you, if the Halo Collection is not broken and works and lives up to its potential, that game will win Best Collection / Remake. Like that.
It's actually not really hard. You just don't ruin it.
Yeah, that's 4 games. All of them have online. All of them are getting up-resed. All of them are getting the 60 frames treatment. All of them are great games. One of them is getting a complete from the ground up remake. You know, I love The Last of Us Remastered. Same thing with Final Fantasy X HD. It ain't got nothing on that. But I don't know. We'll get to that. Oh my god, this is gonna be hell. I'm just imagining it right now. Nick, what's your favorite game of the year so far?
Ooh.
None of us actually sat down and thought about this, have we? Because I'm trying to remember what came
here's
out
the
this
thing.
year.
This year is definitely. It was a good year. Don't get me wrong, but it's weak compared to previous years.
Well, I mean, we
you
had
like
6
you also
straight
have to
years of
consider-
awesome.
You also have
Yeah,
the
and next
difficult-
year is just gonna be ridiculous. I mean, for me, I had
also-
to think about it and really analyze and go back and play a couple more games to really come down to my top game. But without doing any of that, just throwing it out there, I'll probably say right now it's Infamous.
I mean, Infamous is my number 3. Right now, my number 1 is Transistor. After finishing Transistor and then starting a new game plus, my only complaints with Transistor are the story doesn't really flesh itself out enough unless you want it to, and it's too short. My complaints with Donkey Kong is that it's very much a traditional 2D platformer, but it's the peak of the 2D platformer. And then my complaint with Infamous mostly have to deal with story.
This year's just gonna kind of be remembered as games that we thought would be super big but just weren't. I mean, like as far as impact goes, because like we talked about, Titanfall could be this big thing, and it kind of wasn't. And then we talked about how Destiny was gonna be like, oh man, Destiny is so cool, it's so great. And then when the game actually came out, it's respectable, but it isn't really quite the huge, super amazing thing that we were kind of told to expect.
By the way, I apologize. I apologize if you all can hear my cat. He is very bossy sometimes. But
yeah, and it's just kind of like I'm kind of like.
What is everybody's most anticipated game for the rest of the year? For me, it's Bayonetta 2. Between the Japanese reviews and the footage I've seen, that has potential to be one of those oh holy shit games.
For the rest,
me, if Borderlands was coming to the new generation of consoles, I would say Borderlands. But since that still upsets me. I mean, I still want to. I don't know. I might pick it up. I don't know.
I mean, I might be reviewing it, but
yeah.
Yes.
But if it was coming to because I love Borderlands so much, and it frustrates me so much that's not coming to the new consoles. But I don't know. I might get it, but if I do get it, it'll definitely be on PC. I mean, I haven't used my PC for gaming in forever.
Yeah, that is definitely where I would get that game. Also, that's where it belongs.
Yeah.
That game is so much more comfortable on the PC.
But since it's not. This year, I'll probably say Sunset Overdrive. I have very high hopes for that game. I mean, up to this point, Destiny was definitely my most anticipated game of the year. But now that that's out,
my number 1 for the entire year is I've been riding this fucking Bayonetta train, and I'm hoping that it turns out to be right. So here's to hoping. So what about you, Anthony?
I can't really think of much aside from Pokemon
Ruby.
Alpha Sapphire. I'm specifically getting the Sapphire version because that's what I played 10 years ago, so that's what
Okay, well,
that's where memories are. But
I
yes,
played
one
Ruby,
of those
but
games.
yes.
One of those
Yes.
games.
What about new titles? Like ones that you could be like, this is game of the year.
At this point, I don't really see any being game of the year. It's just right about now. This year, it just kind of didn't really pique my interest. I mean, it was an expensive year, freaking spending all that money to get a freaking PlayStation 4, and all the games I'm buying this year just because, hey, Smash Bros. Coming to 3DS and it's coming to Wii U. Oh, look, a remake of Pokemon Ruby and Sapphire. Oh, hey, another Dragon Age game. That's all I can think of off the top of my head. Bayonetta, I actually don't pay attention to it at all. I mean, I know I'm getting it, but I don't look into it very much.
That's how I am with Hyrule Warriors. Like, I know I'm gonna buy Hyrule Warriors. I have nothing about the game.
I would more recommend you rent it than buy it because, you know, it like if you're going to buy it, just wait until it's like a $40 game.
That was the plan. Like, I was gonna wait for it to drop in price.
The problem is that Nintendo never price cuts anything, and if they do, it's only by a little bit.
Yeah, I know. I'm dropping Drive Club from my. Because you will have Drive Club. I think I might get something else for rental soon, though. Because I'm actually really excited for that Sleeping Dogs HD. That actually looks really good. Anyway, alright, well, I think that's it, guys.
Cool. Thank you guys for listening. Please, once again, comments and questions are very much appreciated. We are out.